Ambassador Zethkar adjusted his ceremonial robes for the 100th time as the human delegation's shuttle approached the neutral station. The Galactic Council had spent 3 standard cycles preparing for this moment. First contact with the species that called themselves humans. Everything had been meticulously planned. Peaceful greetings, cultural exchanges, and the gradual integration of Earth into the galactic community. The humans' initial radio transmissions had been promising. They spoke of peace, cooperation, and their eagerness to join the stars. Their technology was primitive, but showed potential. Most importantly, their psychological profiles suggested a docile, herd-like species, perfect candidates for membership in the Council's carefully maintained order. Remember, Zethkar addressed his team of xenobiologists and diplomats, these creatures evolved from prey animals. Their flight response is highly developed. Sudden movements or aggressive postures could trigger a panic response. The airlock cycled with a soft hiss, and the human delegation emerged. Zethkar had reviewed their files extensively. Captain Sarah Chen, a military officer, Dr. James Morrison, a scientist, and Elena Vasquez, a diplomat. They moved with measured steps, their faces masks of professional calm. "Welcome to Kepler Station," Zethkar said in carefully practiced English, spreading his 4 arms in the traditional Veltar greeting of peace. "I am Ambassador Zethkar of the Galactic Council. We are honored by your presence." Captain Chen stepped forward, her hand extended in the peculiar human greeting gesture. "The honor is ours, Ambassador. Humanity is grateful for this opportunity." The first few hours proceeded exactly as planned. Cultural presentations were exchanged, translation protocols established, and preliminary trade agreements discussed. The humans seemed appropriately awed by the technological marvels of the station, asking careful questions about everything from the artificial gravity generators to the quantum communication arrays. Zethkar felt pleased with himself. These humans were exactly what the psychological profiles had predicted. Curious but cautious, impressed but not threatening. They would make excellent additions to the Council's lower tiers, perhaps eventually earning the right to contribute their labor to more advanced civilizations. Then the Korthak arrived. The predatory species had been excluded from the first contact protocols for obvious reasons. Their aggressive nature and tendency to view other species as either rivals or prey made them unsuitable for delicate diplomatic situations. But Admiral Vrath had never been one to follow protocols he deemed beneath his consideration. "So these are the famous humans," Vrath rumbled, as he stalked into the conference chamber, his pack of warriors flanking him. Each Korthak stood nearly 3 meters tall, their scaled hides marked with ritual scarification that told stories of conquered worlds and defeated enemies. "They seem small." Zethkar felt his secondary heart skip a beat. "Admiral, this is highly irregular. The first contact protocols clearly state—" "Protocols are for prey species," Vrath interrupted, his predatory gaze fixed on the human delegation. "I wanted to see what manner of creatures presumed to seek audience with their betters. The xenobiologists had their sensors trained on the humans waiting for the predicted fear response. Elevated heart rates, stress hormone spikes, flight or fight activation, all the typical reactions of a prey species confronted by apex predators. Instead, something else happened." Captain Chen's posture shifted almost imperceptibly. Her muscles tensed, but not with fear, with readiness. Dr. Morrison's hand moved slowly toward his tablet, fingers dancing across its surface in what looked like random movements, but somehow felt purposeful. Elena Vasquez took a single step back, placing herself in a position where she could observe all exits. "Admiral Vrackth, I presume," Captain Chen said, her voice steady. "Your reputation precedes you." Vrackth's mandibles clicked in amusement. "And what reputation is that, little human?" "The conquest of the Helios system, the subjugation of the Marathi colonies, the orbital bombardment of Kepler 442b. Chen's tone remained conversational, but Zethkar noticed something in her eyes, a coldness that hadn't been there moments before. "Quite an impressive record of diplomatic achievements." The Korthak admiral laughed, a sound like grinding stone. "You know of our victories. Good. Then you understand your place in the natural order." "Oh, we understand perfectly," Dr. Morrison said quietly, still working on his tablet. "We've studied your species extensively since receiving the Council's preliminary data packets. Fascinating biology, really. Enhanced muscle density, redundant cardiovascular systems, advanced healing factors. Evolution clearly favored you for individual combat." "Indeed," Elena added, "though we couldn't help but notice some interesting gaps in your technological development, particularly in the areas of network security and quantum encryption." Vrackth's expression shifted, confusion replacing amusement. "What are you implying, pray?" Captain Chen smiled, and Zethkar felt a chill run down his spine. It wasn't the expression of a prey animal at all. It was the smile of something that had just finished setting a trap. "Did you know," Chen said conversationally, "that humans are actually persistence predators? We didn't evolve as prey, Admiral. We evolved to hunt things bigger and stronger than ourselves. We ran our prey to exhaustion across vast distances, coordinated in packs, used tools and strategy to overcome superior force." Dr. Morrison looked up from his tablet. "Your flagship's main computer core just accepted a rather interesting data package. Amazing how trusting Korthak security protocols are when faced with a sufficiently advanced viral algorithm. You see," Elena continued, "we've had time to study every species in the Council database during our journey here. Your aggressive expansion patterns, your military capabilities, your weaknesses. Humans are very good at pattern recognition." Vrackth roared and reached for his weapon, but Captain Chen was already moving. Her hand emerged from her jacket holding a device Zethkar didn't recognize. Small, metallic, humming with barely contained energy. "I wouldn't," Chen said calmly. "That's a quantum disruptor, experimental technology. We're not sure what it would do to your molecular structure, but our simulations suggest the results would be educational." The station trembled slightly as alarms began sounding in the distance. Through the observation windows, Zethkar could see Korthak warships listing as their systems failed, dead in space. "The beauty of being underestimated," Dr. Morrison observed, "is that no one sees you coming until it's far too late." Vrackth's warriors raised their weapons, but froze as dozens of red targeting dots appeared on their bodies. Human soldiers materialized from what Zethkar had assumed were empty corridors, their adaptive camouflage systems disengaging. "Now then," Captain Chen said, her weapon never wavering from the Korthak admiral, "shall we continue our peaceful negotiations? I believe Ambassador Zethkar was about to explain humanity's new status in the Galactic Council." Zethkar stared at the humans with new understanding. Not prey animals at all, but something far more dangerous. Apex predators who had learned to disguise themselves as sheep until the moment they chose to reveal their fangs. I believe we should discuss humanity's admission to the Council's upper tiers," he managed. Captain Chen's smile widened. We thought you might see it that way. As the human soldiers efficiently secured the Korthak warriors and Dr. Morrison continued his work, dismantling their fleet's computer systems, Zethkar realized that first contact had indeed been peaceful, but only because the humans had chosen to make it so, and that choice, he understood now, was entirely at their discretion.